Hey, what is going on? So, we're here. We're continuing on with the month of September while we're still in the energy of Virgo season. Virgo season is quickly wrapping up, but we don't want to rush it, though, because I don't want to do that to my Virgos. No, like, we got to get through this. And if anybody wants to rush Virgo season this particular year, this particular season, I don't blame them, because why is it that we're feeling like we are just stuck in a pile of reality that we have to take note of, we have to acknowledge? We cannot just ignore, guys. We cannot. I'm going to tell you why even more, because there is a new moon partial eclipse in the sign of Virgo that's coming up September 21st. I did a video on this, and it was a full moon, that eclipse, and it happened in Pisces, and I touched on how the new moon in Virgo, how that's going to be affecting us and playing out as well, right? So we're finally coming and approaching that new moon partial eclipse in Virgo. We have Venus entering into the sign of Virgo on September the 19th. And let me tell you, Saturn is retrograde in the sign of Pisces. Uranus is retrograde in the sign of Gemini. Neptune is retrograde, or is going to be going retrograde very, very soon. Okay? Let me tell you, this is nothing short of checking in, seeing where we're at, and making conscious, practical choices. This is something that's very serious, guys. I don't think that you guys understand. And it's bringing in this emotional aspect. It's making us lean into this emotional aspect to where these next decisions and choices that we make and the approach that we take seems like we're literally ripping off band-aids to wounds that we don't feel like is all the way healed. Okay, guys, imagine wearing a band-aid. I want y'all to come here with me to understand this. Imagine putting on a band-aid and you got cut, you want it to take time to heal. You put this band-aid on, and then, you go to rip it off after a few days or so, and you know how you just brace yourself and rip it. But you rip it to see, oh my gosh, like the wound is healing rather nicely, more than I thought. This is what these transits are doing to us right now. Because that Saturn retrograde into Pisces is making us have these emotional memories and having to actually process to see because we're dealing with Saturn, we're dealing with karma, we're dealing with cycles, we're dealing with patterns. Seeing what we have to really break free from. It's like a test. And the universe is like, what do you have to break free from? What do we already go over? No. We rehearsed this. What is your turn? Go. What is it that you need to do? And tell me why, even though we've rehearsed this all, yes, once upon a time, before. This time, it is so hard to do. It feels like ripping off the band-aid, but let me tell you, once you rip it off, you're going to see that you healed more than what you thought. Once you rip it off, you're going to feel like, oh my gosh, this is impossible. I can't, because my emotions, you're tying your emotions to things, to people, to substances, to thought processes, to belief systems. And when you rip it off, no one's saying you can't have your thought processes and your beliefs and things of that nature. But we are saying that you have to upgrade these aspects. Okay? And let me tell you, everyone that is able to say, okay, I'm doing the rip off and this seems so hard. This seems so hard to do, but you doing it, oh my gosh, you're going to put yourself so far on the path that you need to be on, reaping benefits, reaping your harvest, because we are going into fall. This is what Virgo season does. You're going to be reaping your harvest. You're going to see how these choices, these decisions, these situations has ultimately brought you into this space that really works for you. Venus in Virgo. Venus in Virgo is one of those transits. It's going to be that transit for the rest of September. You know, we're going into October with this until Venus enters into Scorpio. Venus in Virgo is that transit. It's not an easy transit because where we want to get romantic and touchy-feely, we remember what. It's like, okay, I'm going to remember what that person did to me. I'm going to remember how it played out the last time. Guys, I look at this and I define this as like a series of flashbacks. And people can say, oh yeah, you're being stuck in the past all you want. But all of us that's dealt with Virgos and we know how it works, we know how Mercury works. This is just like sticking Venus and Mercury together and saying make it work. You get what I'm saying? This is what this is like. We all know that Mercury is the restrictor. You want to so bad to not have those boundaries, to let things go. To say, okay, I forgave. Yes, you can forgive, but you're seeking that forgiving doesn't mean that you are supposed to forget until you put yourself into the detriment space. No. We're seeing what did not work. And if it did not work, listen to me. I want you to understand me when we talk about these flashbacks that we're navigating through. And I want you to understand that if it did not work before, whatever you're doing, and I'm not saying it has to be one particular thing. I'm not saying it has to be like you have to give up on something that you really wanted to do. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that maybe the route that you took, your work ethic, what you wanted to receive, you gave so you wanted to receive. Maybe you didn't give enough. I don't know what side of the spectrum that you're on, but what I am telling you is that what you did before that did not work, I need for you to gear yourself up and I need for you to do something else. I'm not even going to say the complete opposite. I will say the complete opposite, to do just to make it safe for you to do anything other than what the hell you was doing. We want you to do anything else, y'all. We want you to do anything else besides what you were doing. You got to pull through. This is what Venus and Virgo is asking of you to do. Asking of us. You have those conversations. Let me tell you, Virgo don't even have to really... Virgo, it's okay. This is the thing. Virgo, knowing the truth and knowing how reality is, will ignore stuff, will avoid stuff, will not even confront certain things if Virgo is not sure that they are ready to make the next move that they want to move. They're not ready to move out of the situation, etc., etc. They'll try to make whatever they need to make work, right? However, this is the thing. This being, Venus transit in this sign is, and Mercury being at play is this other thing. It's, you have to have the right conversations. We have to have the proper conversations. We have to be able to communicate what works. Not this, okay, you're thinking one thing, you're thinking another thing. You're thinking one thing, I'm thinking another thing. That's not what is going to work. If it coming together with anything in marriages, in relationships, in partnerships, when dealing with money, you have to have that practical approach right now, because the practical approach is what saves you. I promise you, in these situations, you can get to the crossroads and decide, yep, it's very tempting to turn and we're going to make that left, right down Devil's Ave. Like many do when they sell their souls. You can think it's so much promise down there, down Devil's Ave. But you can get there, and this is not a church sermon. Guys, I'm telling you, You could get to those crossroads and you could say, you know what, I'm going to actually, it doesn't matter how painful it seems. It doesn't matter what it seems like I'm losing out on. It don't seem like what I'm missing out on. I'm taking the right. And let me tell you something. Okay? It doesn't matter if it looks like you don't really know the way out. It doesn't really matter if you can't see clearly down that road. As you turn right and go head down crossroad, right Ave, what you're going to end up noticing is that you're going to start seeing signs. You're going to start seeing signs that's like, oh yeah, go 2 miles up, you're going to make another right. Then you're going to drive 3 more miles and you're going to look up and you're going to see the cherry blossom tree. Turn left at the cherry blossom tree. And then it's going to work out. You're going to know that you have made a right decision every time when you get up, when you tell yourself, when you look and you be like, oh my gosh, I made the right choice. Oh, I'm not being backstabbed because I decided that instead of going and hanging out with these typical group of people or my usual people or doing the usual thing that we do, I decided not to do that this time because you know what? I seen it. I had a premonition. And not only was it a premonition, hell, I experienced it before. I don't need to experience it again. I know already that this business idea ain't going to work. Why? Because I did it before. And even let's say it's not the business idea. The business idea could work, but maybe it's the way I did do it. What way is that? Well, instead of me prioritizing, because this is what this energy is about, instead of me prioritizing the needs of the project, of the work ethic, instead of me detailing it. See, that's when you get up in there real good and you detail it. You know? Instead of me doing that, I slacked off. I didn't do the proper research. This is but this time around I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. This is what pushing through this energy is. I'm telling you, it's going to clog you up emotionally. When you get clogged up emotionally, I want you guys to take a look and see why. I want you guys to take a look and see why. When you get clogged up emotionally, this is for a reason because you have to push through. You have to work through these emotions. You got to let go. If you got to go and you have to cry, you have to be upset, you have to feel disappointed, you have to feel betrayed, you have to feel that you are doing something completely than usual. This is what I want you to do because you're looking for what works right now. And you are looking for the practical approach and you are prioritizing the things that you need to prioritize right now. That's where you're going to get your money. That's where relationships and love relationships bloom. This is where you stay out of confusion because Venus and Virgo is, let's get down to the bottom of this. Is this real? Is this workable? Is this manageable? If it is, how? How? Because we have to figure this out. Now, for each sign, I'm going to go through and tell you how, like what to look for with Venus and Virgo, how to use it to increase better communication, make your relationships work, the ones that can make what you're working on work. What is it that you're going to be looking out for? What is it that's also in the background pulling at your emotional strings that you have to work through? And this is not an easy, simple energy, guys. This is a heavy, very heavy, very physical. You can feel it in your body. And this transit is. And people are noticing they're in need of money, not just money, but resources. They are in need of the right partnerships or relationships. You're looking around and you're seeing where you don't have the help. Some of y'all, you don't have the connections. You don't have the communication. You're going to look around. This is a dose of reality check. because you're going to look up, you're going to look around, and you're going to be like, oh my God. This is what I should have been prioritizing all along. I've been putting my time in the wrong places. I've been listening to the wrong people. I missed it. Like it was there in my face the whole time. And you got to be willing to make the best choice for you. Now, could there be some things I left out? Yes, because, I'm not doing a personal read. I am doing a transit read. Some days I go longer. This is pretty much Venus and Virgo is straight to the point. It's straight to the point. You don't even have to talk. If you don't want to waste your energy, because this is what I'm on right now, and I'm telling you, I suggest some of y'all get on it. If you don't want to waste your energy, quit explaining yourself and quit letting mofos explain themselves to you when they not really doing anything. Look, we are represented by the fruits we bear. It doesn't make any sense. Listen, okay, so no, without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to continue on with these transits. I'm going to start with each sign. This time around, I'm starting with the sign of Pisces because I kind of feel like the last signs I end up neglecting a little bit, and I don't really want to do that. So without further ado, like the video, subscribe to the channel because I will be back. Your sign is going to be time stamped. All right. So I will meet you at your sign. You can look at your sun. You can look at your rising. You can look at whatever you want to look at. Me personally, I know people say they look at their rising and then they look at their sun because their rising resonates. Great. You can do that. Other people look at their sun and then they look at their rising. And, either way, I don't get into looking at all these other things. Some people that are really good with using these different types of energies for, what the placements or the transits are having for them, they can go and look at that. Me, I don't like confusion. I don't surf around until I hear what I want to hear. It just is what it is. It's very matter of fact when I am doing the transits and when I am listening to them. Okay. But without further ado, like I said, however you feel comfortable, thank you. And I will see you at your sign. Okay. So Pisces, for you are having Venus transiting Virgo in your 7th house because Virgo is opposite of you, of your 1st house. So it's in your 7th house. So here we go. One thing that you will not be able to ignore and escape is your relationships and your partnerships in marriage. That whatever relationship or partnership is significant to you that you are seeing play out, I kind of feel like for you guys, you're being a little bit more hands off. And people are not understanding why. They might think that you're acting funny or whatever the case may be. You are really trying to keep your emotions in check. Okay. And I'm not saying that this is going like you guys are just not helping with anything, but no, I really do feel that if we look at relationships as our reflections, right? And we see that the people that we're interacting with and, how our money is flowing and our projects, the things that bring that in, what makes us feel valuable. If we're using that and we're saying, okay, our relationships is a direct reflection of us, you're not liking what you see. Because a lot of you guys are waking up and you're looking around and you're hearing about things that people are saying. They could be voicing themselves about you, and you're just like, oh, this is how you felt all along. This is how you viewed me all along. This is the thing. If you are confused about a situation, like a romantic situation, a financial situation, because somebody could have been like, hey, we could go into business, or there's a financial opportunity for you and you really did not hear in details, or you feel like you keep being left hanging, you just don't know the ins and outs and the workings of how things are working. Ask the right questions, Pisces. You have to ask the right questions of your partnerships and relationships. You have to challenge these people. You're leaving things so boundaryless. Is that how you say it? But without the boundaries, the appropriate boundaries, and the ones that you do, it's really so either or with you. And it's like either you're completely closed off or you are open to the point of no return. Great that you could be open. However, I feel like you need a medium ground to go with. You need to be able to communicate your needs and your wants and how you're feeling in a situation, but then hear someone else out at the same time, and then just see if this is something that could work or if it's not. And you are welcome to, if someone tries to play you or play in your face, confront them with the truth, the details of what really happened, because we know that you have it. You just don't always hold people's feet to the fire like that. And like I said, without this medium ground, people are going to swear up and down, and they're going to accuse you of acting out for no reason. Like they don't know what the hell is going on. And this is where you can either let these people control you with these different manipulations, or you can see it for what it is and choose not to play their game. And you can have somebody, Pisces, or other people approaching you that way as well. And there's no need for me to try to sugarcoat it, because it just is what it is. And I don't want to set you guys up for failure. What could be stopping you, right, is the fact that, and even if these people try to get you to do things, but you told yourself, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to invest my time here. I don't think it's worth it. What could help save the day for you? Saturn going retrograde into your sign. Because even when you want to give in and do these things, you're going to feel like you can't. You're going to feel like emotionally you are topped. And you're going to have to make a choice. Okay, am I going to sacrifice myself, or I'm going to look after myself right now? And you have to make that conscious choice. Now, what could be getting in the way of certain relationships for playing out that maybe you want to experience, and you want to communicate about, and you want to do, like maybe certain things when it comes to business, maybe certain things when it comes to working on yourself, or whatever that looks like. Because working on ourselves could be simple as saying, okay, I'm making an appointment, I want to go get my nails done, or I want to go get my hair done or color, whatever it is that you want to do, Pisces. Then you could be preventing yourself from doing it. Why? Because you could be really feeling undeserving. You let certain things go to your head. You let certain things go to your head if you feel like, oh my gosh, like I'm guilty. I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have let that happen. If I would have been around, I could have stopped it, but I chose myself in this situation. Okay, well, what I want you to do is I want you to keep choosing yourself. You're not the sign that I would necessarily have to worry about just being like, okay, Pisces is going to try to just screw somebody over. I don't necessarily look at it that way. But what I am going to say is, like I said, I feel like you need a medium ground. You got to see what works. You got to see what's working financially. You got to see what maybe you could let go of, what you need to prioritize in your life. And it could be money, it could be love, but we cannot get there without putting ourselves first. Like, that sounds so cliche, but it is true. And you're going to see where some relationships are holding you back from those things because they keep requiring you to sacrifice yourself in the process. But the real relationships, the real money, really getting effective on what it is that you're working on and prioritizing that and getting an actual return on your investment is when you are able to move on to these new relationships or have the communication, the proper communication. You got to get real with these people and just say how you feel. Because if it's too much on one side, you're going to find yourself getting really angry and just reacting. And then it's like, oh, look at Pisces acting like, acting immature or acting this way or acting that way. Or you're just not going to say anything at all and not really getting what you need out of the process. We need that medium ground. So you can have money coming in at work. It may require you to work a little bit more. You might have to prioritize your work a little bit more, or if his work is in a way, then you have to be able to communicate to your partner, hey, and have that those designated times where you're like, okay, so actually let's plan in a date. Let's plan and spend time with each other because your workload can increase right about now. All right. But it's going to bring you in more money. Some of you guys can meet a lover or something at work, or you and your partner can bond communicating about work and communicating about your needs or how you need them to assist you, because you could be very surprised. They may want to be able to do that, or they may want to do that. And if they can't, you have to let them know. Okay. So this is a two-way street. And I need you to help me. Right now, I can't just focus on what you guys have going on. All right. So, yes, Thank you so much, Pisces. Until the next time, just go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, because I'll be back, because I got to do the Mars to Scorpio, Mars transiting Scorpio, and that is in your what is that? Your ninth house, okay? Of new experiences that you got coming on. Very sexy, if you ask me. So maybe, you know, you and your partner, after y'all communicate about what y'all need to work on, it may lead to something a little bit, you know, a little bit deep. All right. Okay. So thank you, Pisces. Okay. So Aquarius, you have Virgo, the Venus in Virgo, transiting your 8th house. Here we go. This is not for you guys. This is not anything new. You've been having this, and I mean, this is transiting your 8th house right now. It's been, you had a lot of activity going on in your 8th house. It's all Virgo season. It's like you're looking at things in a very real way. Scorpio is a get real way. It is a, okay, make changes, or I'm going to have to force you to make changes. And some of you guys, even if you want to wait and put something off, you might see, because like maybe you don't act on this right now. You might see like a trajectory of a time, like when you can or when you should. It's like, okay, well, I maxed out. Okay, some of you guys, I don't know if you're holding a secret or something, you might see that exposed, like you have some sort of realizations, something coming to the light. You're trying to see how you can make something work. I don't know, make a marriage work, but not even that, a business. You could be working more and putting in more time and more energy in a business because you want to be able to accumulate money off of others. And it's just like, how do you do this? How do I do this? Okay, so you got to be able to communicate effectively. What is it? What is your plan? If some of you guys that want to open a business, what is your business plan? Some of you guys, you have some sort of secret affair possibly going on, you know, with someone that you could possibly work with. Or if you don't have that, it could be like you and your spouse. You know, maybe your spouse is like, okay, why are you being so withdrawn? You're hiding stuff from me. Your spouse could really feel like you're hiding stuff or hiding money or whatever. And you could literally be like, no, I don't have it. You know what I mean? And then just wanting to spend intimate time together. And for you, you could be like, okay, well, work is in the way, you know, but so you have to make that balance. You have to make that balance. You have to be able to make schedules, see how you want to prioritize your life, because if you can do that, you will see the most benefit that you can get. Incorporate your partner on it with you. They can help you. They want to help you work. They want to help you work on things. They're there for you. Let them do it, you know? But so even more than anything, for some of you guys, this is a good time for you to go ahead and get into that. You know, the money, see if you can request money, loan money, business money, bettering your credit, getting your finances together. And yes, you have to prioritize it. So yes, making sure that you're keeping bills that need to be paid, having that schedule set, saving money. This could be a good time for you guys to be able to put extra money away, a little bit of money here and there away. You know, I see some of you guys gambling, and you really have to work on your money and your finances right now. And so what's happening is, in order for you to do that, you're going to have to look at what it is that you wanted that led you here. What is it, the overall, that you feel like you wanted? And you can identify, right? And how do you accumulate that? You know, you looked at your worth, you seen yourself in a very physical place in order to do this. You increase your value, because for you, it could, like, having a valuable life could mean, okay, I want more property, you know, I want more money, I want more finances. I don't have to have all of this stuff. I just want to live comfortably. What does that look like for you? Because this is how you know how to regulate your money, your finances, your life, in order to do that. And some of you guys, you're going to start seeing, it gets deep, because you're going to start seeing that a lot of this dealing with your money is psychological, of why you're refusing it, of why you're giving so freely, whatever the case may be. It's a psychological thing. It is more deeper than you think. It's because you feel that, okay, you know what? If I don't get too intimate, if I don't get too serious, if I don't hold on to the money, if I, you know, or whatever it is that you're holding on to, if I don't do this or if I don't do that, then it means like, oh my gosh, I got to get serious. And me getting serious, I find out that I really do want these things, but I've held myself back is because for so long things have been getting taken. Things have been getting taken, or I just kind of feel like it wasn't what I exactly wanted, because you wanted something. Aquarius is a sign that can get hung up on something. Like if something goes wrong, it's like, oh my gosh, this is what I thought was going to happen with this person, how I thought it was going to happen, and I planned for this and it didn't happen. Therefore, I'm going to try to keep going. Guess I can make changes in that. But deep down inside, emotionally, I'm bent. I'm stuck. You got to get to the deep. You're going to have some sort of realizations that's going to help you transform. You're going to see things in grave detail. And you're going to see how like your feelings and your emotions is directly tied to your money and your assets. Hidden hurt and pain. It's really emotional transformation at the end of the day. And it's going to hit you hard. Like Aquarius, some of y'all are just setting yourselves up for a crash and burn. Not all of y'all. Some of y'all. And the crash and burn is an emotional crash and burn because you keep sabotaging. A lot of y'all are sabotaging your love life. You sabotaging stuff that you worked on. Even when you worked on something for so much or for so long, just to turn around and come back and do the same thing because you don't really want to face your emotions. And I get it because you naturally have Virgo in the 8th house. It's just like, okay, what can we work on? But when you're really longing for something personal and deep and real, but you're not going to find that in these different places, in these different people, in these different jobs, in destruction. You can't. Let me tell you, Uranus is inside the sign of Gemini right now. But you have to understand, because even though Uranus does go well inside of Gemini, Uranus rules you, and Gemini is ruled by Mercury. And Mercury tells you every place that you have to look. Mercury also rules Virgo. It's like, this is every place that you have to look. And you have to communicate. Some of y'all might actually have to go to a therapist, but if it's not a therapist, you might have to actually re-advise a plan. You might have a company. You have to see where these addictions or where these limited, these emotional patterns is really playing out for you. Whoa, this is deep because I heard for some of y'all, it's causing physical things to take place in your body. And you think about it, Virgo is the body. I look at it as a body because it's physical. I look at the earth signs as a body because they're physical. Venus is here. And some of y'all, instead of choosing to face your problems, some of y'all are going towards addictions or going towards letting things go. For some reason, you're just like, okay, yeah, go free. I told somebody the other day, I was talking to them and I was like, you know what? People want to be free so bad. They want their kids to be free, especially a lot of parents that has issues with their children's behaviors with their children. They're just like, okay, yeah, I want my child to go free. I really can't tell my child no. But it's like, okay, so imagine your child about to cross a set of tracks, but you hear the horn in the distance, but your child's trying to run, and you're just like, what do? You don't tell them no? Or no, you will be like, no, stop. Don't run over here. But the child is going to keep running anyways because they're not really accustomed to hearing no. They're not accustomed to being trained or disciplined, right? So they're going to go. A child that is used to being told no, maybe some sort of forms of discipline or something is being put in the pathway or place. They're about to cross the train tracks. Their parents tells them no, they're going to stop and be like, oh, stop. No, don't come across the train. Okay, I'm going to stop. And the train goes by. And I told these people the conversation, we were talking about freedom. And I'm like, a lot of parents, when they have behaviors come up like that in their kids, they don't understand that there is a price you pay when freedom is not really free. Freedom is sacrificing. Freedom takes intelligence. Freedom takes like higher order thinking. This is why, hence, everybody cannot be free. And I'm not talking about no slavery stuff. I'm talking about some people need some sort of structure or guidance. Some people need for you to tell them, you need to come back by 10. Because if you don't tell them that and they think they're free, they out there till 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, and they're telling you, okay, so you said, and Aquarius, because y'all are intelligent enough to know that you can give people that freedom, right? You can just like, okay, go ahead. That does not mean they're going to be intelligent enough to grant you your freedom in return. It does not mean that they're going to just let you be free. No. They got expectations. You get what I'm saying? However, y'all just want everybody go be free. Go, go. Mercury, which is ruler of Gemini, which is Uranus, is transiting Gemini right now. That's pretty much a retrograde motion. Is like, no. It's that parent that's like, no. Because, first of all, did you, are you looking at this carefully? Are you looking at this in the way that you need to? Did you communicate over that you're going to be an extra hour or two late to your partner? Because they don't know if something happened to you or not. And just to keep you safe or just to know that you're okay, they just want you to communicate and be like, hey, like I'm going to be a couple hours late. They're not trying to stop you from doing. The more that you dig into this and you quit running from it, you're going to see, they're not trying to stop me from being free or from doing me. They just are genuinely concerned. But what you might do is you might look up and you might see that those people that you want to hear that from the most right now, that you want to be around the most right now, may not be there to answer. Because they mistaked you allowance of their freedom in that space as you really not giving a damn until it matters to you. And guess what? I'm not here to say whether that's right or that's wrong or not. I'm just telling you. Because some of you guys, you will be there for your friends. You will be there as much as you can. Especially for people you work with. But for your own spouse sometimes. Because those friends, they may or they may not be there for you. They may or they may not show up. Those co-workers, they may leave a bunch of work on and responsibilities on your hands. But your own spouse, like the person that has your back the most, or whoever you're sharing these deep, intimate connections with or relationships with, they a lot of times feel that they don't really have access to you. And it's a realization right now, Aquarius. It's a realization because they're going to... I'm just going to be honest with you. You're going to get shown a thing or two during this transit. Now, I'm going to also tell you, yes, there's money there. There's money here in the 8th house, maybe hidden money through taxes, money through child support, money through court. Maybe even when you see the 8th house, that's paying out money as well. So keep that in mind. Because there might be debts that you pay, but this is a good chance to get your money together, to look and write it down. Look at the details of this. Find out what it is that you owe. Get your bills together. Pay off your credit. Minimize stuff. Seeing how much money is really paying out. There be companies that we sign up for, and you might be getting down to the bottom of this. You sign up for, they're taking money out our checks every freaking month. Okay. And we be done forgot that we just set up some sort of electronic payment. And let me tell you, it gets real with relationships right about now in a lover. Okay, so let me go here. What could be your second house it could be a flashback you have of your worth. Because you want to go to that next level and whatever it is that you're doing. But you might be like, man, I don't know if this is I'm worth this, or if this, when God is giving it to you and saying that you are, and you've been all along. You see what I'm saying? You're not missing out on nothing. No thing. Y'all, Geminis are free in the mind. That's how Gemini's is like, dude, let me tell you something. Don't tell me that I can't be free in my mind. Because if you tell me I'm free, I cannot be free in my mind, then we have problems. They could be there physically with you and all that. Let them think the way that they want. You have to be mentally free, physically free, all of that. And it's fine to want that, but it goes too far out sometimes. You got to reel it in. You got to reel it on in, Aquarius. All right. Get that. You got debt that you got to get straightened out. And psychological, emotional developments that comes to the light. That's you're not going to be able to avoid with this transit. And it's impeding on your money in your relationships. You go listen. It's there. It's coming. Some of y'all might have some rude awakenings on the 16th, and some of y'all might really, it's either you or them, really realize like you lost some real, maybe even looking at people that you lost. Listen, it ain't easy. All right. Thank you, Aquarius. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, because you know I will be back. Oh, okay. So hello, Capricorn. Thank you for joining me for the Venus transiting Virgo video. Let me tell you guys. So Venus is transiting your 9th house, right? Venus and Virgo. So some of you guys, this is really good. This is really good for traveling, you know, maybe connecting with people of different culture or have different experience from you that you could be interested in, that you could do business with, that you're trying to, you know, reach, network to. So definitely travel. And I don't really think that this is necessarily just get up and go travel. This could be planning things out. So Capricorn, if you want to travel and you want to make some changes or have some new experiences, this is the time to do it. You got to, let me tell you something. You have got to understand, Capricorn, that this is the time to break free from your same old stuff and behaviors and expectations. Nope. We want new experiences. And the thing about it, I don't gotta yell at y'all too much, because guess what? I know that Capricorn knows Capricorn wants to have new experiences. And you know what the hard thing is, and even doing things a different way, you might have to actually communicate to a lover or someone that you're going to part ways with, or you're going to, if you do not completely part ways with them, you're going to do so in your experiences. You're going to let them, you're going to know that you need to have some experiences that you need to have. They can come on a journey with you, but they cannot come without some understanding first. You need the freedom. I keep telling Aquarius, we know that you can be free. You need to freaking commit to something. You need to emotionally commit to something. Because your very wealth and existence depends on it right now. The universe needs them to. Hell, it's the age of Aquarius. But Capricorn, yo. The universe is saying, nah, Caps, we want you to be free. Because the universe knows that out of all people, you're not going to take your freedom to just overboard. Your freedom is really about saying, okay, so what new experiences do I want to have? What does not work for me? What do I need? What are these relationships, these people, this lack of money showing me and demonstrating to me right about now. Because a lot of you guys are going to see that you're ready to go beyond your local environment. The people you usually kick it with. They're not on, you're feeling like they're not on the same thing that you're on. You're thinking big, or you're thinking past the point of just something simple. As a matter of fact, you're thinking real creative right now. And if you feel like it's not necessarily that you're thinking creative, you're just being open. You are communicating, or this is what that Saturn retrograding into Pisces is going back. This is where if you've seen the beginning or the intro, I talked about how this transit, Venus and Virgo, is having us, it feels like a band-aid being ripped off. We feel like we don't know if we're healed. We rip that band-aid off. It's a sting. But we see, I am healing. I did, my wound is healing. It's making progress. But prior to that, ripping the band-aid off just seemed like it's going to be painful and whatever. This is this transit. Because Venus and Virgo, the new moon lunar eclipse in Virgo, that's happening the next couple of days. On the 21st, Venus is entering on the 16th. On the day, y'all, this is an emotional thing. It's not easy. But the point that I'm trying to make is that, but yet Pisces retrograding, Saturn retrograding into Pisces is that emotional, is the rip off, the rip, to where you think, oh my gosh, like I don't know if I can rip this band-aid off because my wound is not, I don't know how that's healing. This is gonna hurt, but you rip it off, and then you realize, oh, this is not so bad. They're just attachments. You have mental, emotional attachments through people that you have connected with, that you keep thinking about, that you are tied to. And it's going to be one of two things. Either you are going to be able to move towards this person and you make things better, or you move away from them. And if in money for you guys is, I've been hearing sirens quite a bit. And it's not really normal on the street that, like, where I live, like the little area that I live in. So, I'm telling you. But this is my thing. You have to choose something different. Venus and Virgo is like, dude, choose something different. Choose something different. You thought about this already. You have communicated about this already. Just do it. We don't want no stagnation. Like, the more that you can just experience, the more you learn from your previous experiences, and you look at it and you say, okay, although like my emotions are there, I have been stuck here way too long. This may, some of y'all might shed a tear, or you may find yourself, my niece keeps calling me. Some of you guys might like vent this emotionally, or you can journal, you can write, you can be nostalgic, because it's a lot of past events that's tied to, your security, you feel like, and you seem to where like how your trajectory, you can no longer be on that trajectory and succeed and expand. You have expansion coming into your life. This may be a new job, a new work, moving for a new job, a new work, new experiences in love, but you get to know this person, right? You get to know these people. You and your lover may be traveling. You already have, or you had, what was that? Yeah, Venus was there in your 8th house, right? Because it was inside of the sign of Leo. So this has already been an emotional thing. What I feel like what that transit was supposed to do was help you transform, though. Help you transform like the hidden aspects, your relationship with money and finances, your emotional aspects, your psychological aspects that you feel that prevented you from believing in yourself, or from going after more, you transform that. And then with it moving into the 9th house, it's like you're ready to have these opportunities. Some of you guys have new opportunities coming in, way of work or some type of job you do, something that you work on. Wow, that could be lucrative, but you have to act on these opportunities. And I feel like it's important to not say yes to every opportunity, because it could be something that you want to do, but the type of details that you're going to have to look out for, you're going to have to be vigilant about. It might help that, because even if you have multiple opportunities, all right, I'm not saying don't take those, but you got to be scheduled, you got to be detailed, you got to be planned. Okay, so you want some changes, right? Venus and Virgo is trying to bring you there, trying to bring you in, like this romance or this relationship. It's not all necessarily romantic, but there could be something different about it, or you're trying to get it to work out. You might make the decision to move away from it, because it's like you see that it's blocking you in your advancement or the next set of experiences that you're going to have. Your money and your finances is how you connect with other people through your experiences. What are you willing to experience? What have you learned? Like looking at this as a learning process for yourself and saying, okay, so fine, since this is a learning process for myself, being in the moment, to the day-to-day, handling your daily business, your daily routines, maybe traveling a different way to work than your usual. Do things differently than the way you usually operate. I'm telling you. No. If you're usually the person that is dependable, be undependable. If you're usually the person that's predictable, be a little bit unpredictable right now. It's not saying that you're going to throw everything to the wolves. Just challenge yourself a little bit. Make them what? Be like, okay, they feel like they got me all figured out. Do behaviors that's different than your normal behaviors. Some of y'all going to run into something, a lover, a business party, new financial opportunities. So take your time working on your body, planning, because if you don't go on these trips or nothing, something now, maybe you're just like, okay, well, this is my goal. And some of you guys, go ahead and do that. If you want to further your education, do that. If you want to be, some of you guys right now, you might turn on the radio or you might hear something that's like, oh yeah, come attend. Like they're advertising something that you can go attend, and you go attend it and you meet somebody or you get money some type of way. All right. So your money comes through expansion right now. Love and relationships works through expansion right now. Like how taking something to the next level. If it can't go there, then it's meant for you to leave behind, especially for right now. Okay. Just try it. All right, so thank you, Capricorns, for joining me. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, because I will be back. Oh, yeah. Okay, so Sagittarius. So hello. Right now, you guys have Virgo in your 10th house of career. Okay, Venus in Virgo. Let me tell you. With Venus being in the sign of Virgo, this is what I need for you to do. You have to develop a work ethic, one that works for you, because this is where your money lies. Your money and your time and value, responsibilities. Some of y'all, make sure you're making sure you're working on hard. You're staying at work late. Make sure you got arrangements to let your pet out and feed them and stuff like that. But what I'm here to tell you is this. Your goals are going to require work. I know. Sagittarius, it's easy to get distracted. I'm a Sagittarius rising. I know. It's easy. You going on one road direction. You said you're going to stick to your guns. And then on your way there, you see, you're just like, oh my gosh, I got to stop over here real quick. I got to make a stop over there. No. Because right now, we're doing what works. When people see you, they need to see that you're doing what works. 10th house is the house of public image. People got so much to say. And let me tell you something. Some of you guys, your health and wellness is on the table. You know, you're trying to overcome that. Overcome something that has, if it's your health, if it's your job, if it's your work, if it's your value, you being prioritized in relationships, however the case may be. Listen. People have scrutinized you. They told you how much something won't gonna work. They judged you left and right, even when you felt like you was making the best decisions for yourself. They did so many things. You decided, you get yourself to this point to where you have to turn your pain into triumph. Venus in Virgo, why it's very important there's a new moon partial eclipse happening in the sign of Virgo on September 21st. Venus goes into Virgo September the 16th. With that partial lunar eclipse combined with Venus, you have to begin, no questions asked, and not just begin, lay this. This is you coming. You're the Grim Reaper. Call you the Grim Reaper. Because you're not playing no games. You mean in business. You hear what I'm saying? You mean in business. Like, you're not playing no games. You felt like the life that you wanted, even if you had it, you didn't freaking have it. Like, and if you did, it left and you want it back, except for better this time. Okay? And let me tell you what you're going to do. You are going to make the decision to say, okay, this is what I need to cut out, because this is everything that's in my way that I don't even need to deal with. It ain't my problem. It ain't my ish. I don't have to deal with it. But this is what I do need to deal with. What I'm going to deal with is what makes practical sense, what I can prioritize, what I can get back from my investment. That's what you're going to say. And you're going to be effectively communicating that with people, because if they can't see that that's what you're about, because this is the 10th house. Okay, if they can't see it, you're going to help them understand it, because you're going to communicate it to them. You may be communicating to a partner, listen, love, I get it. You want me to be all these things that I'm not trying to be right now. Just tell them how it is, like you usually do. I'm not trying to be right now. And even if I wanted to, I can't be that. I cannot be that in what you're trying to get me to be. You are wasting your time. If this is something that needs to be communicated, okay, listen to your partner, listen to your lover, listen to whoever it is, and be like, okay, well, this is where I can meet you at. But I'm telling you, I only can meet you there. This is Virgo. I only can meet you there. Okay, maybe you've been doing a lot of work and you have like a lover, like you're in a relationship with, you're in a marriage with. The partner is saying, okay, divvy up the responsibilities with me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm here to help you. And you know that that's what they're trying to do. Let them help. Let them help. That could bring some of you guys closer together. Listen, you are at a place to where you can hand over the spotlight, or you can mentor. Somebody's looking for you to mentor. People are looking for you to mentor them. You're at that place because you have the information. You are detailed right about now, and everybody knows it. But let me tell you something though. At any instance or sense that you feel like you are wasting your time, you can stop. You heard what I said? At any instance that you feel like you are wasting your time, you can stop. There is no need. Listen to me. Do not focus on that. We're not going into this with our emotions. We're not going to, I'm going to tell you where your emotions coming from. It is coming from that fourth house of security. You hear what I'm saying, Sag? Of security, of vulnerability, of family. And you're sensitive because you see what you wanted to have or how you could have had it. But do not let your feelings get in the way. You don't got to go back there. You want to go back to where it's safe. Okay, I get it. But do not let your feelings get in the way of what it is, your goals. Make yourself these goals. Like, say, don't make it too difficult or too much on your plate. Be like, schedule this. Okay, so my goal by next Tuesday is to have this and that done. Or this done. All right? Then I get to the Tuesday. Do I have the goal done? I'm going to check and see. If not, what can I do to finish up? After that, I want to have that over here done. Do this for yourself. Because your work, things that you're doing with your development is going to require work. It's going to require patience in your development. It's going to require time. And it's, yes, you're being watched. And let me tell you, you cannot afford to let the past interfere with what your future is and what it is that you're doing. Because I'm telling you, it's very easy and simple for you to sabotage something. Like, because you could be so emotional that it throws you in a depression, or it throws you in a place where you're just like, man, I don't even, it makes you want to give up. But that, you got to look at this Venus in Virgo. You got to look at this new moon lunar eclipse in Virgo as the guide, the practical guide to ground your emotions and work through them. You are going to be the epitome, Sagittarius, of turning your pain into just something profound, into accomplishments, into success. Like, this is what that looks like. Some of you guys might be seeing a return on that, now, but that's where your money is. In things that you could develop. Maybe it didn't come to pass right now, but something, invested in something long term, committing to it, commitment. I don't care what comes and what goes. Use it to stay on track. Some of you guys, you might find that you meet a lover or something that's like interested in the same goals that you have, or at something that you're working on at work. But it doesn't even matter at the end of the day. Even when it comes to you looking for a lover or whatever, you got to look for what works for you. And, but this is the thing. I feel like the more that you commit to yourself, you're not going to be confused by people playing with your emotions, or they can't get their shit together, because you're going to be like, nope, I know when it don't make sense, it don't make money, it don't make sense, I'm be right here where it makes sense. You hear me? You do not let anybody throw you around because you are feeling kind of sensitive right now. No. And whatever you involved in, wherever you stuck at, you're using this to get yourself out of it. You're seeing where you got to get yourself out of it. It's like, nah, it's time. Because whatever's holding on to you, they feel like you're comfort. They feel like you're home. They're going to be stuck to something as long as you are. Because you got somebody that's trying to stick themselves to you. Listen. y'all literally have. Listen, have y'all ever, and this is just the truth saying, this is just, I've heard this and I found this to be true. I don't know if y'all ever heard this before, but I have heard to where, and they said this about men, could be about women too, but like a man that doesn't, you can deny them access. Some of them are fine with just being able to go look you up on social media and be like, okay, I can look at her at least. That's my satisfaction. You got somebody that's like that. To be like, okay, well, I may not have this person, or it may, but they're sticking. They are attached to you in some sort of way, and they may not reveal themselves, but they are part of playing on your emotions as well. Practical sense. Commit to yourself. Commit to what you're doing. Even if you have a partner in life or yours that do, and y'all are committed to each other, commit to each other. However, maybe work on something together with each other. Y'all are going to be seen publicly anyways, because maybe you got something, a relationship that's going to the next level. But your money and value is coming as you seeing like you're building yourself. I don't know what people are saying. Maybe your body, or maybe something you have done, you've worked at over time. That is coming. You coming to reap the results and the benefits of that. All right. So this is where we're at. All right, Sagittarius, thank you so much for joining me. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel, because I'll be back. Scorpio. Okay, so hello, Scorpio. Thank you for joining me. You have Venus and Virgo transiting your 11th house. Okay, so Venus and Virgo, where there's money. Some of you guys, you could be making money offline. Like if you're selling things online, you communicating with people online, maybe even meeting people or coming across people, making love connections with people online. But this is also you actually having a chance to pursue something that you want, like maybe having a wish granted or a wish fulfilled. So and this could be someone offering this to you, offering love or money or whatever, because they're just like, wow, they've seen that you worked at something over time. So there could be some sort of reward. You feeling a little bit more in your element or zone when it comes to being able to work at and accomplish your goals. And you're working at it and you're taking your time and you're building here. This is where money is at. Maybe a friend or somebody might offer you to borrow money from you. Maybe you have a friend that's around you that's actually into you. You know what I mean? They know a lot about you. They know details about you or whatever. So people all up in your business, if you know what I'm saying. However, I feel like this is pretty good. This is pretty good, because if it's something that you want, you just go after doing it. I don't even got to tell y'all how to do that, because you can. If you want to reestablish some sort of connection and love, it's best to talk to the person, communicate with the person. Like, keep it kind of lighthearted and, just like go with the flow right now, but getting to know each other, asking the right questions, having practical conversations about how you guys actually fit in each other's life. More about what you are, who you are, not what they are. Okay? We got that coming up. What could be getting in the way or interfering, Scorpio, because if you watch the intro, when I talked about this transit, there's like emotional attachments to these transits and to this transit with this Venus and Virgo. And where we want to move forward and where we want to pursue, because we know, like, okay, we got to take the left road. What we've done all this time that did not work versus this right road. What we know we should be doing based off of what we've been doing. And it's hard. It's easier said than done, because pulling away from the energy is like pulling at our emotions. And this is the thing, because with you, this is you. Like, you're having insecurities, maybe even thinking of something that you did. A lot of times Scorpios, though, are dealing with past life things that you did. And it's like, okay, you make yourself pay for those things in this life by saying, okay, well, I'm a hide. I don't want that attention. I don't want to be known for these things, because what if I'm not good enough? And you spend so much time studying and perfecting yourself, right? Okay, I get it. Venus and Virgo being in your 11th house is saying, okay, well, you've already done that. We don't need you to perfect yourself. Okay, what we need you to do is check those insecurities, check why you feel that, like, whatever those emotions are, when you feel like you're going to fail, or when you feel like it's going to be, you're not good at something, check what that is, because you are. That's bringing you back. That Saturn retrograding in Pisces in your 5th house is bringing you back to where you're just like, oh, I don't really want to know the truth, because if I look at things for what they really are, then it's going to bring up these issues. Then I'm going to have to leave this situation or that situation or do things differently. That makes me feel uncomfortable. But Venus and Virgo in that new moon lunar eclipse in your 11th house is telling you, but Scorpio, this is you having what you want versus you not having what you want. What are you going to do? Let's just work at this. Let's see where it can go. There's money there. There's love there. But you want to stay confused about who you are. No, you don't know what you are capable of getting and landing. By communicating, looking at details, asking the questions, looking at things for what they really are, and then moving on and moving along accordingly. I told you guys this. I'm not going to stay too long. And as a matter of fact, I'm not going to be arguing at you guys or fussing at you guys, because that's not my intention. However, I'm going to post some videos that I've already done at the end of this video, and you can go look at. I've done details about what is going on with you for you guys. If you looked at it already, take another look at it again. It's big transformations, but it's like you don't know who you are or what that looks like. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel and keep coming back. I'm going to reveal what that is as we go along. These transits are uncovering this for you. You're being uncovered. And some of y'all, yeah, you didn't handle certain situations in the best way possible, but it's like you're realizing that now. Something becomes awakened to you, becomes for you to see, like really see. And I don't know if this is somebody communicate something to you or some experience that you have that leads you to this. And you gave your power away. Gave it away. Some abuse it. But a lot of y'all gave it away. Sold it up the creek for $10 when it was worth millions. And those people took it and they sailed on. And you want them to realize, oh, this is what you did. This is what you took from me. That's where revenge kicks in for Scorpio, when it's just like, no, you gave it. Okay, Scorpio. This is Venus and Virgo transit for you. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, because you know I'll be back. So hi Libra, we're back with Venus transiting the sign of Virgo. So where are we at? We're inside of Virgo season. However, we're about to be moving on into your season very shortly, guys. So, we need a little bit of Libra time, like y'all powering up right now. I know you guys are going to be glad to get Venus, Mercury, the sun out of your 12th house. Y'all been holding up good. I don't know how y'all been holding up. Y'all might be the ones that's going home and crying, or crying in the car, or really, because it's like by the time this is over, it has just ravished through your 12th house. I kind of feel like some of y'all are acting as these mirrors to other people too, of things that they're trying to hide or cover up, and you're just like, no, I'm about to come speak truth to it. And they keep going against you, Libra, because they don't really want to see the truth. They don't really want to hear the truth. I'm just going to be honest with you. But there's some undoubted truths that you recognize and you realize. And because you recognize it and you realize it, you really do want to protect yourself. Wow. Venus is being here. Hidden money you might find. A secret love relationship, or something you find out about your lover or your relationship. Because that Virgo in the 12th house could be something hiding or hidden. But with you, there could be certain things that you realize that you want in love, in relationships, and partnerships, that you feel like is lacking or you just really never paid attention to before. Why? I don't know. Because maybe it didn't matter at the time. Because you being giving and self-sacrificing is what you knew to do or what you felt like you were happy in doing until you realize or you find out that it's really not being, you don't feel like you're being treated in a way that you want. And I'm going to be honest, maybe this person doesn't know, but if they do know, they're not really paying attention. And I kind of feel like this is you too. Like there's a lot of stuff that you're keeping on the low. There's a lot of stuff that you're keeping to yourself. You know, some of you guys might have had or needed, you know, a counselor or therapist or just even you like taking a time, like solitary time, isolated time to really, you know, uncover a lot of these feelings and these emotions that you have tied to something or someone. I'm going to tell you, and this is you finally maybe taking the steps to realize these things in details. And you might actually be communicating it to people. It's not something that you're hiding, you know, and you might actually be actively seeking ways of healing because you could be isolated from someone. It could be a partner. It could be a parent. And it's like even if it's not, it's like you realize some things. So what is it, guys? What is it that where you want this healing, you want this forgiveness, and you want to, but what's preventing you? Okay, let's go here. Your 6th house. Something dealing with work, looking at things practically, you know. It's like, okay, well, is this practically going to work? Is this going to work? If it's going to work for this person, is it going to work for me? Is it going to work for the both of us? And, you know, you usually try to make stuff work and be at the center of that. Maybe some situations come up to where you're just like, you know what? I'm not trying to make anything work. Like I'm not going to be the fall person. I'm not going to be the mediator. I just really want to take care of myself. I just really want to deal with my emotions and what is coming up. That's what you want to do. Wow. Wow. You might decide or see where you have some other time. Like, dang, Libra. Woo. Something you just feel like, okay, this is not going to work for me. Because something you are tied to, you are doing and you're operating out of not really knowing what works for you. It's always been what works for somebody else. You're about to get a whole new revelation. This is crazy because you're going to feel like, oh my gosh, like I completely wasted my time. You did not. I kind of feel like a lot of y'all, this is a stepping stool to get to where you need to be. Let me tell you, that's what happened to me. That was my experience in life and through life. I would get somewhere, except for I didn't ever think I was going to be anywhere just forever or just long term, but I would get somewhere and then I would see how when I left that place and I went to another place or another situation, it's like I saw where it was a stepping stool. One thing led to the next, that led to the next, that led to the next, that I wouldn't really have gotten to that thing that led to the next, that led to the next without doing that thing that led to the next, if you know what I mean. This is powerful. Some of y'all are not meant to play small. Like you're not supposed to be you or someone that you're dealing with. What is come on now. You're not. The person you're with, you might not be with them forever. But if that's not the case, I just kind of feel like something that you're dealing with work or you're working on, your daily routines, your responsibilities, you have taken on something that really deep down inside, you're not supposed to be permanently attached to right now. That's deep. You're having these realizations. And Venus going into Leo, Virgo, sorry. You're going to feel this. This is how you're going to know you're going to feel it. Wow. Something has to do with like drinking, abuse. Some of y'all might get into like drinking or something to try to ignore this, or someone you're dealing with. But it could just be isolation for a little bit. You might take some time to yourself and just see, like, really, give yourself the love. This is deep. The love that you need. So Libra, the answer is not going to be to go jump into something else and just go jump into another relationship or just go try to fix it that way. The answer is going to be you really taking some time to see about you. You're like, damn, do these people, really love me? And they do. But I'm just saying, you're thinking this, or do they just love what they can get out of me? They love, who I've become that makes them feel comfortable. Those things, you're really searching and seeing, like, to where a lot of choices that you made, it was really not made by you. You're going to have what you thought really revealed. You might be communicating these feelings. You got to communicate these feelings to your lover. And you got to look at the situation for what it really is. Not the past, where you guys are realistically now. And some of you guys, you and your lover might become bonded in a way that you haven't before by these truths being exposed. But like by you really, and I'm not saying this is different. This type of way that you're responding, like this is you getting a control over yourself. This is just active, realistic realizations that really humbles you in a way that makes you look at things from a different light. Okay, Libras, could you please, and you have a new moon that's happening too in your 12th house. Like, by the time your season comes around, y'all definitely gonna be ready. I just kind of feel you definitely gonna be ready. We're gonna be back. Stay tuned for your season, because that's when I can really, when y'all get out of that 12th house, I can explain it to you different. Okay? All right. So thank you, Libra. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, because I'll be back. Okay. So Virgo, I got interrupted, but so Venus and Virgo, did I tell you guys happy birthday? Because I got to keep it moving. Happy birthday. Venus is in your sign, so it's your birthday. Venus is in your sign. We're having a new moon lunar eclipse. It's a partial lunar eclipse, but it's still powerful nonetheless. Starting September the 21st. So September the 16th, Venus enters Virgos. This is good for you, because you, yourself, your intentions, you're looking good. You are poised. A lot of you guys, when you put your intentions and your energy and your focus towards your talent, your work, you are going to get money paid, maybe getting offered bonuses or financial opportunities being given to you, being introduced to you, shown to you, even love options. So this could be you doing significantly better in your relationships, your love relationships. Maybe it's because you're with someone, maybe it's because you're not, but you're just in a position to where you want to look after you. You want to be, you know, a lot of times when people are single and they finally take that time and that focus and that energy and they put it into themselves, when they least expect it, love opportunities come out of nowhere. This is you for right now. Starting September the 16th is very powerful. It's very strong. You're very magnetic. You are loving yourself. You are feeling yourself. I love when Venus is transiting a sign. This can help you soften up a little bit too, to where, you know, Virgo, what people don't understand about you is you want love. You want relationship, right? But a lot of times it's just like emotionally, you don't really know how to show up that way, but you show up physically. Like, I know one of my good friends that is a Virgo. You could tell her anything. She not gonna break down crying about it necessarily, not just like off the riff. You could be crying, people could be sad. Her automatic instinct is to, okay, so how do I, you know, like, I think that a lot of times with Virgo, it's more like a late reaction sometimes. It's like, okay, I have to process this first. That's really what it is. And you guys could really, you know, react or, you know, respond emotionally after the fact. You like process feelings and emotions first. And your thing is to always do. That's your love language. And this is the thing. I kind of feel like people fall short of you though. People fall short of you. And a lot of times it doesn't really hit you until after the fact, until like something significant happens, until, you know, you're looking back or you're processing something in a situation and you're just like, oh my gosh, like, I'm showing up for these people's birthdays and that I like, I'm interested in, that I care for. They don't really show up for mine. I have understanding in said relationships and with family and whoever that I value. And a lot of times they are not there to do the same for me, whatever the case may be. You are looking at all of this and you started doing things different. Like, this is something, this did not happen overnight, Virgo. This is something that you have been realizing for the past, 3 years or so? But it really came to a head. And let me tell you. See, what you're doing now is you're moving forward with self in self. That's where the energy is telling you to move. That's where you feel the best. That's where you feel the safest. And you feel most comfortable because you know that you're going to do what's right by you. You know your potential. You know your worth. You know what you can provide for others. But when you step back, I'm not saying purposely, but purposely. It's not purposely, but it's purposely. To see who comes forward, who puts in the effort. And it's alarming at what you get. And even though some of you guys realize this, you know, you have Saturn going retrograde in the sign of Pisces in your 7th house, to where you kind of want to give in. And you're just like, okay, no, I want to make this stuff work. I want to make this stuff work with these people. I want to make this stuff work in my relationships and my partnerships. I can go fix the situation. And you The more you see that you're being drawn back to that, the more you have to make that conscious decision to say no. These situations are interfering with your development, Virgo. You're supposed to be the sign of reciprocity. You get money, you get blessed. Love works for you. When you are making sure you're involving yourself in situations that give back to you. You do that when you prioritize yourself. No, you're not going to forget about people that you're in relationships with. I'm not saying you're not going to forget about them. They're still going to be around, some for whoever they are, however they are, if that's what you choose to do. However, you're seeing some things. And when you take a step back and then people are like, okay, Virgo, what's going on? What the hell happened to you? Why are you not doing what I need you to do? You can simply say, okay, well, you know what? I actually have something else planned that it could be a spa day. It could be something you're doing with someone else. It could be having a movie night with myself or whatever. It doesn't matter. All right, you don't have to tell them every little detail, depending on who the person is, and just stick to that. Like, really prioritize you, prioritize your goals, prioritize your work, prioritize you feeling good, and actually feel that. Because if you don't take the time to feel it within yourself and you want these emotional connections with your partner, you want this, you are not going to be able to give it. You're not going to be able to receive it. And it's going to be a disconnect, a miscommunication about what it is that you want and what it is that you need versus what people are giving you by way of they feel like then that's what you want or that's what you're accepting maybe when you're worth way more than that. But Venus, if you haven't, Venus in your sign is going to show you this, and that new moon lunar eclipse is going to show you this even more. September 21st, Venus is in your sign now, today. So you have a lot of power right now because this energy will help you fall back into yourself the way that you need to be. You need to beautify yourself, but you need to take care of yourself. You need to put yourself first. You need to allow yourself to shine. You need to allow yourself to go towards what works for you, not just what works for other people or significant relationships you're in. Please finish enjoying the rest of your birthday. Like the video, subscribe to the channel because I will be back. Hello, Leo. How's it going? Okay, so Venus in Virgo is happening in your second house. And this is the thing. Second house of Virgo, this is the thing. You're starting to really look at yourself and value yourself in a whole new way, or that's what you want to do. This is where Venus is here saying, okay, you need to do the little job that you do to make that extra money. You're looking at where your investments are going, where your money is going, like where you're spending, where you're paying bills. What is it that you're trying to accumulate? What is it that you're trying to get? Because I definitely see the second house, since it's a practical house, it's like where we're spending our money, what we want to bring in. Okay, so you guys can have new opportunities to get something that you want, get some bills paid off, selling some property or property or selling something that you have that's in your possession, even seeing how valuable something is, like getting appraisals and things of that nature. So yeah, that is here. I kind of feel like even showing up, being like having side jobs or doing a little extra work here and there, being open to that. Seeing what works for you is all here. And also, some of you guys, if you're assessing your value and you're just like, okay, yeah, what I'm doing, I feel like I need to be getting paid way more. I want to be getting paid more than that. What you're going to do is you're going to put yourself in a position to where you up your value. This could be finishing school. This could be going towards some type of work that you always wanted to do. You have Venus here. So this is the thing. Other people could be seeing you as pretty valuable too. As a matter of fact, in love and relationships, I feel like you're seeing to where you want something that makes practical sense for you in your life right now. If it doesn't, you don't understand how it's going to work. You don't want anything over romanticized. You want things like literal relationships. It's almost like Detail. So what is it that you can do for me? Because I know what I could do for you. Wow. This is putting you in a position to practically approach and take steps towards manifesting this in a practical way in your life. And guys, this is coming. You want this. Look, this is real practical and real. This is not something that's hidden from you. This is not something that you're trying to tune out. Like, you're very much so in tune right now. And you are dead serious. Listen, what you're breaking free from, or what's sending you here to this position or this place, is the fact that, you had Pisces transiting your 8th house for the past few years. And when it came out of your 8th house, the lessons that you learned from there, dealing with finance, money, intimacy, all of that, you just feel like you can't just dwell in that world. You know, when you just get caught up into romance and all that and just let things pass by or bypass you, your money gets spent, you don't get what you want out of life. You realize where you settled. You realize where you just didn't handle, or you mishandled your finances and stuff like that. When it comes back around to the practical house of Taurus, you're seeing it's like, okay, well, we don't make money, it doesn't make sense. Or if it's not worth my time, I don't want to waste my time. You know, you're being very much so cautious, and you're watching the situations around you to see how they respond to you, what they think about you, what they're willing to invest, etc., etc. Are they willing to value your time for what you show up as, what you represent yourself as? Because not, it's just a waste of time. This is very practical for you. So you and your partner could have interest in comfort. So this could put you in a position to where maybe, it could be hard for you to get certain work done, but at the same time, I feel like you are aware of that. So you want to spend quality time with your partner and tending to love, but at the same time, you want to make money at the same time. So it could be something to where you and your partner both have little goals that you work on. And maybe you come together and you work on certain things together. You have little tasks that you do or work on together. And, and it's okay because you can take your time. You can take your time here because you realize if you have a goal or something for finances, saving money, paying off, like pick a big bill or something to start paying down. Pay that down first. Pay towards that, then pay towards something else. Over time, you're going to see that you significantly decrease the bills, but then you build your credit and, your worth at the same time. Because I kind of feel like that's where you're at, but you're willing to take time. This is this place that you're at, like loving yourself, is very practical. It's very you oriented in a sense to where you see that there's certain paths that you kind of got to walk, and you just have to see how they uncover, like how it uncovers as you move and you do things, you live life. The second house is just you living life, and some of you guys could want something pretty traditional. Like you might have a traditional approach to that, or just, have an understanding that things has to make practical sense for you. Yours is pretty much straight to the point. Now, like I said, I feel that what interrupts that is your, fear of intimacy, you feeling that it's like, wow, things get a little bit too real. And I get it. Maybe you have to rein certain things in when it comes to a business, or when it comes to, let's say you've been given the funds or something, or you have that business, or you have these financial opportunities, but now it's like, okay, so how do I apply it where I'm making money? It's lucrative, but it makes sense. Like this could be changing around your schedule so that you're not overly working yourself. You don't want to do that. You want to really take time to put into your well-being and what you're building, what you're creating. You're recognizing your worth. You're recognizing that in a very, like I said, a very physical sense, a very practical sense. And it's like you can't just ignore, you know, your feelings and everything, but at the same time, you see to where when you do just give in to your feelings and you do just allow things to happen, you know, and you deprive yourself from intimacy, you don't like the quality of life it brings you. You don't like the way that it feels when everything is all said and done. So now you want to be conscious, you want to be aware, and you want to navigate this financial space, this very physical space, your self-worth, your value, in a way that best represents you in the lifestyle that you want to live, whatever that looks like. Okay, so we'll be back. Because right now, it's really pretty much straight to the point for you, Leo. And I don't really got to beat a dead bush. I don't got to keep beating this in your head or anything like that. I kind of feel like you guys know. You got to know, because you're dealing with it went retrograde in Pisces. It's triggering some insecurities, or it's triggering some psychological, emotional responses from you when you realize like what you settled with. All right. Thank you, Leo, for joining me. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, because I will be back. Cancer, how's it going? So we're going to start with this Virgo, Venus transiting the sign of Virgo, which is happening in your third house of communication. So you guys, communication, the mind, siblings, your day-to-day vicinity. You guys, the more you can get out, the more you can be around, is lucrative for you. And now, you might be spending money as well. Because when we be out, you know, as soon as you leave out the door, money is being spent. All I hear is cha-ching. So be careful of that. Because if that's something that you don't want to do, maybe stay in a little bit. However, I really feel that you want to feel free right now. You want to feel, you know, it's like you got yourself up to a place to where it's like you worked for what it is that you have. You know, you're trying to upscale your life, maybe even descale it, but still, it's, you know, you're living how you want to live and you're doing what you need to do. Okay, that's really good. Like communication, effective communication could be really good for you. So don't just sit there and assume. Don't assume anything right about now, Cancer. Make sure you are communicating what it is that you are thinking. Maybe not every last thought, but other people want to hear it. You have great ideas. You have great insights. And I kind of feel like for a while, it's like people have been trying to shut you up, or you've been around people that stagnate you in a way, you know, because you want to have a little bit more freedom and expression, and they want to tell you everything that you can't do, or you can't do it this way, or you can't do it that way. You know, when you have ways that work, and I feel like you should communicate that. You should be expressive about that. You know, this is where it's going to make you money. It's going to have opportunities for you. You're going to feel good. You're going to be proud of yourself because you were able to communicate this. I feel that in relationships, it's like magic right now. If you can communicate to your lover or your partner about maybe what you're thinking and, you know, how you feel that things are playing out, your half of your side of the story. Like, communicate. If it's something that you feel that makes you feel uneasy or uncomfortable, you can let a person know in a way that doesn't make you come off as needy or anything. You could just simply say, look, okay, well, listen, this is the thing. I am here. I'm prioritizing this situation right now, my time that I'm spending with you. And I ask for respect and common courtesy in return. Because if not, you doing anything else besides that is communicating to me that you do not value my time or like what I'm doing. I'm trying to be here. I'm trying to be present. And if that happens, then we can no longer see each other, or we can no longer do this thing that we're doing, period. And if they can't get with that, then let them go. Let them get with the problem. Let them go figure it out. That's not something that you should figure out for them. But your mind is very active. Y'all have lucrative ideas, lucrative thoughts. Jot these down, write these down, because you can make money off of this. And not to mention, some of you guys could be rebuilding relationships or rekindling relationships, or coming together, speaking to your siblings, maybe people that you speak to frequently or you haven't seen in a while, or maybe you have, but y'all are coming back together some type of way, you know? So this is a good time to just like free your mind, to talk, to communicate, to think. Like, think past limits that you have for, like, yes, and this is going to be good because it's going to work for you. It's going to work in your favor. And as a matter of fact, scheduling things too. Like scheduling your time. Because if you're going to be in your local environment, running here, paying bills, or getting your hair done, getting your feet, your nails, and toes done, you can like create a schedule, like a financial schedule for yourself too, if you don't want to spend too much money. Or, you want to keep your appointments and things in check. Well, this is really good. But one of the things that could definitely be holding you back is the Saturn going retrograde in your 9th house of experiences, right? So yeah, you think about certain experiences that you had and what's like convenient for you, what is comfortable for you. And that could be something that you go to for comfort and you attach yourself to, when really you have to detach. In a lot of situations, Cancer, we're dealing with people, if you feel that you're not getting what you need out of the situation, you gotta be able to detach. And you know what detachment looks like? You gotta let them go. You gotta be willing to say, okay, I'll let this go. The more you're harping on something, the more you're thinking about something and dwelling on something that you can't really change. I'm not saying don't think about it, but I'm saying that you gotta be willing to let stuff go. This is not the time to be the ride or die person. No, because your love interest, whoever you're finding yourself in love with, of course they're going to like, oh yeah, well, Cancer's around, so yeah, I'm going to deal with them. But it's like, but if you're not getting what you need out of a relationship, like the people that you're dealing with, they're gonna always come back, or they're gonna always let you come back, but are they prioritizing you though? That is the question. And detachment is like you getting with your own interests, you living your life, watching movies. Yeah, maybe you got to think about them every now and then, but you make up in your mind, I'm going to let this person go. I'm going to let the situation go. I do it all the time. And by golly, them people don't go nowhere. What you do get to see is the real them and the true them and what they really had going on and the realizations and the truths of it, to where you may not even want to deal with some of these people when they come back around. I'm just telling you. And your detachment, you being able to be detached, makes you more valuable, actually. People can't miss what is always there. People devalue what freely gives of itself. You distance yourself from experiences, from new experiences, because you feel that, well, okay, well, this is painful, this is different, I don't really know how to let go, whatever the case may be. But you have a whole new set of experiences right around you. Work could have you pretty busy, or you could be busy, like I said, and just getting into hobbies or getting into things. You have ideas, going to go do those things, communicating, talking to people, just getting to know different aspects of your environment. But you could be pretty busy too. Like there's something that maybe you're helping somebody else out with that's in your family. So we got a lot of stuff there. The new moon partial eclipse happening in your third house of Virgo. This is telling you or showing you where being able to detach from things, but looking at things in a real detailed fashion. Just like looking at things for really, let's sum this up good. Looking at things for what they are. And where do you feel that something is not working for you? Being able to communicate your thoughts. Have other people hear them, Cancer. New ideas. Manifesting these ideas. It's gonna make a lot of y'all money. It's gonna get y'all gonna end up talking to somebody that's gonna offer y'all a job or some type of work that you're gonna do, or you're gonna meet some sort of lover doing this and behaving in this manner and doing this. I'm telling you, you are. that's going to be different. That's going to work for you. It's going to be different than what you typically deal with. And you need to let these situations go that don't value that you holding on to. I'm just telling you that. But anyways, Cancer, so like, thank you for joining me. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, because you know I'll be back. Okay, so hello to the sign of Gemini. Venus in Virgo is in your 4th house. And if you watch the intro, you would know that in the intro, I definitely let it be known that this Venus in Virgo, this transit is not a simple, easy transit necessarily, especially for some more than others, possibly. And it's because we had those set of eclipses that happened, and Saturn retrograded in the sign of Pisces, and there's a new moon partial lunar eclipse in Virgo that's conjoining and conjuncting with Venus. Venus goes into Virgo on the 16th. The new moon eclipse happens on the 21st of September, days apart. And it's very, very important, because where we want to go for it and we're like, okay, this is what works for me. If you did not watch the intro, this is what works for me. This is what I know that does not work for me. We want to go back to what does not work for us, because it's, although hard, is where we find comfort. And I'm going to tell you, some of y'all might care too much about how you're being seen. And that's crazy saying that to a Gemini. Gemini's caring about how we're being seen. Gemini's caring about how we're being seen. Oh, hell yeah. Wow. You know, the funniest thing is that I think that other people, because we have Pisces in the 10th house of Gemini. That's where Saturn's at. Saturn's sitting there weighing down on your 10th house of career, goals, public image. And it's like people keep giving Geminis shit. And just not seeing you clearly, like seeing you for all these things that you are not for some reason. And I'm going to tell you, like, I think it all comes to a head to where you just get to this place to where you're like, I give up. I don't care. But you know, Gemini, the craziest part, the realest part about this all is that you do care. You realize that you cared. But what you realize is how many people didn't really care for you. Damn. It's an emotional thing. Because it's like, you being you anyways, it's like you realize that people didn't necessarily care for you. They cared for like what you had to offer them. They cared for every single time. It was really what they could get out of it. It was really what benefited them the whole time. I'm not saying that people didn't love you or they don't love you or they never did. But it's like that they so-called loved about you. What was that? What were they really looking at? Who were they thinking that you were? How did it benefit them? That's the question. That's the question. And the reason why I'm going this route is because Venus is transiting your fourth house. Your fourth house of security. Your fourth house of emotions and vulnerability and family. And how we feel about ourselves personally in a personal space. And a lot of Geminis are dealing with the fact that it's like, okay, when you move from your public image in that public space and what you represent at work and what you represent to the public, and you move to that personal space, it hits home that it's like, dang, I don't really got nobody there with me at that personal space though. I don't really got that real close. I don't got that type of security like that at that personal space, and it hurts a little bit, you know. Let's branch off here. Venus and Virgo in the fourth house talks about security, and this is where you could be definitely focused on because you want to make more money. Here's the chance. You want to make more money. You want to, increase your love and closeness in relationships, but you don't want it to be just overly romantic. You want it to be practical, like it works for you, but it works for your partner. But you want to be seen for you, and you want to look at the details of that, and you want to tell your partner how you feel, or they want to tell you how they feel. But at the same time, it's like, man, is this gonna work? But not if you don't put your emotional security and your personal security above everything else. It's not. And I get it, because it's like some of you guys are being critical, or it can seem like you're being standoffish or like transactional or something, but it's just like, no, like you need to feel safe and you need to be secure. You need to feel secure, and you need to work on that. So you have to work on even being vulnerable, Gemini. I just feel that right now, you have to really be practical as possible. Virgo represents work. So usually at work, we deal with co-workers. You got some co-workers that want to get personal with you, want to go hang out with you, want to get to know things about you. But at the same time, I'm not saying don't do it, but what I am saying is in these type of situations, you got to be able to say, okay, well, these are the people that I work with, or these are the people that I deal with. In this sense, I care about them because I'm going to support them in the way that I need, but that I need to doing a job, what works. But at the same time, I don't really feel comfortable with them being in my personal space for whatever reason. Okay. This can also show that, you and your partner or a lover could, want the same things, but maybe y'all have to express this, y'all have to talk about this, or you're just determining whether it could work, or this could be like a work crush or something like that. Like somebody has feelings for you, or personal feelings for you, or like they care about you, but maybe they approach it in a very practical way. And even some of you guys could be like, okay, well, this is negative, or they feel like you're looking at things negative, however the case may be. But this is the thing. This is the caveat for me, because there has to be some sort of leeway, and there has to be some sort of give and take. And I get it, because it's like, okay, well, my image, because I feel that maybe people, they see the image of you and they see what that looks like, what that represents, but they don't feel like they know you on a deeper level. However, I feel like you're only granting access to you on a deeper level to certain people. Typically they feel like, because Pisces is in your 10th house. So typically they feel like, okay, well, if I approach a Gemini long enough to be what they feel like I should be, or to look like this, or present myself in that way, or to, like, the 10th house is not a superficial house, but it could be, because we're dealing with the image of someone, you know, and people appear in this image, and Gemini might be like, oh, like looking at the person for like what they do, like, oh my gosh, you're a cook, wow. But it's like, no, beyond that, it's, you know, you're just like, no, this is my personal space over here. You're valuing that. You're looking at things real detailed, and certain people could get access. You realize that you want something a little bit more personal, and you want something a little bit more emotional, but you realize that the thing about it is you got to tap into that for yourself first. And then the feelings that you have shows you where you feel like you lack that in relationships, or you lacked that before. And it helps you get rid of or not waste time on situations and stuff that don't bring you that. And you want to get personal, and you want to go after your security, personal security. You want to build a family. You want to focus on that. Some of you guys, you have like family gatherers, family get-togethers, you and a lover or something, spending time at home or doing things, personally connecting, and all of that. Like, that's not something that you could be able to fear, Gemini. But at the same time, yeah, you got to have your boundaries up right now, because you're rather sensitive. Now, here's another thing that I wanted to say, because you are feeling emotional and sensitive. What you have to watch is some of your responses, because I kind of feel like, you know, have your feelings. You can communicate certain things to people, like, no, you didn't have to do that, you know, but at the same time, some stuff you don't even got to say. You are observing, and you seeing to where when you go off, or you spaz out, or you say certain things, and you speaking all the truth or whatever, you see to where, yeah, it's like, okay, these certain truths get out there, or yeah, you gonna see that I'm mad. But at the same time, it's like, where does it get you? Apologizing to mofos that started the ish, looking like the person that's wrong, looking like the guilty one. No, I'm gonna tell you guys a quick little story, because like, even on my job, I have been challenged with certain situations to where, you know, an outside agency that we deal with comes in. It's just different things altogether, but this is just one. And it's like having these demand, pretty much blaming everything on the people that I work with, or the company that I work with, right? And it doesn't matter what we do. And it's stemming from a person, like one person that don't really like us, or can't stand me, you know. And it's like, it doesn't matter what we do. We can come on time. We can have everything that they ask for. It's still a problem. And it's like the agency is siding with the person that's coming in to work with us because they want to look good. And, you know, a situation came because it's like, okay, here goes the email where it looks like we're getting reprimanded again. And I jumped on there to go tell like the person, like the head people that like started the organization. Of course, she's one of the head people, so she's not actually down there working in the position of like this person that we're having contact with that has a stank ass attitude. By the way, this girl's attitude is horrible. She don't care. And I'm like, how? It's the level of disconnect about your disrespect and your attitude, but yet you want other people, you are willing to tell, you're willing to throw people under the bus because they don't show up in the way that you do it respectful to you. That's how I see it. And I'm just like, are you a Scorpio or something? But anyways, I wanted to jump on that email and like email the supervisor, because it was like, you know how people are CC'd in, our supervisors, that people, you know, over us, that where it looks bad if it's like, okay, well, we already had this conversation, it's like y'all are still effing up. And I just like, I wanted to jump on there and do a side email and be like, hey, this is what's going on, this girl that's actually representing y'all's company is coming, we've been on time. Like, I wanted to tell her like everything we've been doing, and blase. And then I took a step back based off of my experiences, previous experiences from before, to where it's like I spoke out, because you can do all that, but at the same time, if you see nothing's going to really change, and you're just going to get painted as a bad guy, and you're going to stay in the company or the position anyways, you got to handle things differently. I realized that. As I'm typing the email, I take a step back and I was like, whoa. Actually, let me ask one of my supervisors that I'm working with in the situation. Let me ask him, where he's at with this. Like, let me talk to him first before I send the email. I talked to him and he was like, listen. And he's older. And he has a lot of experiences. He was like, listen, this is the thing. I just ignore them. It's like, what can you do? And he was like, you know what? I'm just so beyond like a lot of the petty stuff. He was like, to me, this is just petty. Because it's like, we see what's really going on. And it's just only a matter of time before the truth comes. Why do you gotta? It's petty. Like, why respond to it? Why explain anything? And I'm like, because it's like we keep getting in trouble. And he was like, it's just not worth it. And I was like, you know what? Thank you. Okay. Because I was going to do this email and I was going to talk to such and such and such. He was like, listen, I'm not trying to stop you from, he was like, just don't send an email. He was like, I'm not trying to stop you from talking to, our supervisors, like over us. He was like, but I'm just saying, like, what is it? What are you going, at the end of the day, what's going to end up happening? I was like, they're going to have us do what was requested of us anyways. And he was like, right. Got off, didn't send that email. Because I thought about it. And I was like, you know what? That is so true. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to overlook it. Because I know how this person's attitude is. And she's doing spiteful stuff. Even though she's a person that's in the wrong. And I went back and looked at the email. And my supervisor, the one I had talked to, he had responded. And he was like, okay, got it. And you know what? I went. And I added onto that email, will do. Send. Got an email back. Thank you. Because I looked at the whole picture. Like, I got big shit that's like I'm trying to do and I'm trying to accomplish. We got organizations, dealing with different organizations, dealing with top people like supervisors and managers. And this little bitty girl, little bitty person that's really at the bottom of all of it. I'm going to respond to my supervisor or look a certain way to everybody because of someone that could easily be, she could be there today, gone tomorrow. She's just someone that they hired to do this job. And it's like, wow, I was like, you know what? Dang. Like, I'm gonna let's look at this. Because every time I respond, like in tough situations, your response, your actions, your behaviors all make up all of this. I'm like, I'm going to jeopardize these serious relationships with these people over here. That could really be like one day, hey, you know what? Why don't you come work with us? Or, hey, you know what? We think you can fit this position. Or we think you can be responsible for this or help with that. I'm going to jeopardize that for someone that may not even be there tomorrow. Because her attitude, that bitch could quit any minute, any second. I'm going to be arguing back and forth with somebody, like, making myself look bad because I'm trying to prove what to who. Because the person or the people that's above the situation, it's just like, okay, this is what we need to get done because that's the overall goal that we need to get done. This is what's going to be. Blah. What in the hell do I look like arguing back and forth with them over something that's petty as hell? Like, I know somebody is contriving. I know somebody wants a response. I know somebody is trying to make me look bad. And that changed a lot of stuff for me. It goes right in hand with this whole transit because it's like it's messing up my security. I'm getting all flustered. I'm getting all emotional. I'm getting all upset because I'm already feeling sensitive because I'm just like, why I gotta keep taking hits? But you know what it is, Gemini. Y'all ever heard the saying is that you gotta pay the cost to be the boss, bitch? I said, have y'all ever heard the saying that you gotta pay the cost to be the boss, bitch? Huh? Because them people that see, this is what you, Gemini, this is what you don't know. You think you just la 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 la, like I'm saying, in that 10th house, not paying attention to what's going on, because you got Pisces there. And Saturn's been there trying to get you to wake up. La, 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 la. Commitment. I'm not making anybody commit because I like my freedom and I don't want to impose on them. And there's so much to explore in life. You know? It's all fantasies and trials and tribulations they may come. But you know what? I'm going to overlook those because I could just be off in my own space, in my own mind, until you wake up and you realize that mofos done tricked you out of shit. You done gave ideas. And see, I don't mean to be saying this stuff, but I'm just keeping it real with y'all today. Mofos, because it's not going to be yourself, Gemini. You can show up how you want. It ain't going to be yourself and your decisions that get you effed up. It's going to be those people that you keep effing around with. Let me tell you, and I'm just being for real. I'm just being serious. Like, this is how I feel right now. And I'm telling you, because I'm tired. I got to the point where I'm tired about it being about how I look. It's always something. Oh, you look like you do this. You look like you stuck up. You look like you mean. You look like you don't give a damn. You look like you too good. You look like, and I'm like, okay. One day I was like, okay, and I'll be that. Whatever you saying that I am too good. You're right. Yep, I'm too good for you. I am stuck up then. Be that. Yep, I am bougie. Yep, I do think I look good. And hell yeah, I'm smart. What? Until one day I said, you know what? I give up on whatever you want me to be. Because evidently, that's what you feel like I am. And I don't got nothing to prove. That's why I'm on here and I'm saying a bad word if I feel like it. That's why. One day, you realize, Gemini, you just like, what? Like, oh, I didn't get nothing out of this. I didn't get nothing out of these challenges. I didn't get nothing out of these hard times. I didn't get any. They see me as what they wanted to see me as. And I became that. But it was nothing. It was never anything. It wasn't. And it's not that you became it. That's how they wanted to see you as. And Gemini, you're like flexible. So you're like, okay, you know what? Who cares? It's not going to be a big deal. Until one day, you said, man, I'm feeling a certain type of way. And I don't like the way I'm feeling. I don't like what I'm seeing. Like, I like, this is making me feel a little bit insecure because, you know, like, my family is messed up. Like, I'm emotional. I'm sensitive. You know, the money ain't good. Like, what's going on here? Like, I didn't get nothing. Like, I'm sitting here. I'm dealing with this aftermath of stuff. Like, I'm not where I want to be. Not emotionally. Not inside. Not personally. I could gain everything, but like if I don't feel connected to none of that, what am I doing? Like, why? What am I doing it for? Who am I being what for? To what? To who? I don't want to be that. Then you go into self, because when you go into the self, you're in the 4th house. You're in the house of feeling. Yes, it's family, but it's feeling, it's security. And then you realize, whoa, This feels better. It's hard because it's like I have to let go of everything I built around that image of what people wanted me to be. I gotta let go of that. And it's not that you're letting go because you have to drop everything. No. It's you have to access it from a different place. This goes back to when I say you got to pay the cost. You got to pay the cost to be the boss, Gemini, because when you come up and you see from a different perspective, from a different place, because when you're in the house of self, this is like being a drone, being down on the ground, but then taking a drone and operating it to go above where you're at. That drone is gonna see everything from a whole different perspective, catching stuff that you can't see from the place that you're at. But you got access to what you can see. You see what I'm saying? What you can see and what you couldn't see with that drone footage. Going from the 10th house to the 4th house is you being that drone, and you having access to everything that you couldn't see. Now you can see just personally, just personal, just by you going up into the self and being present there. And what you start to see is like, oh no, I'm somebody. For real. They spent a lot of time trying to make me be something else, or make me be somebody else, or make me not be, like, throw shots, throw shade, attack me, because they seen what I am. They seen. I'm going to tell you. You ever tried, listen to this. Have you ever tried to be the supervisor or to be in charge of something and be at the level of the people that you're supervising or that's under you? Have you ever tried to do that? Where does it get you? Because typically the people that's under the supervisor, under the people that's in charge, are talking shit about the people that's in charge. And it could be legitimate or not. It doesn't matter. That's not the point that I'm trying to make. But it's like at some point you have to have a clear boundary or something set to let them know, like, no, I'm in charge of, this is what I'm in charge of. Because without that, they run amok. It's like you're giving people too much reign and too much freedom. And you feel that. Well, I just want them to know that I'm not better than them. I don't think I'm better than them. I actually want to relate to them. I just want them to know. And you know what they think? They think you're better than them. Because they're like, well, you got that position some kind of way. You worked for it. You did something. It's something that I didn't do. You know what they think? They think that you don't know what you're supposed to be doing. Because if you knew, you wouldn't be over there all engulfed in what they doing. You would have some sort of like, you would know, you would have some sort of say so, or you would have some sort of something about you that sets yourself apart. And people can see that thing about other people that set themselves apart, and about you that sets yourself apart. But if you don't see it, or you don't act like you see it, or you don't act on it, they disrespect. And I said this time and time again. You will see them talk shit about the person or the people that is, oh, they're so hard, they're so mean. No, she's a bitch. She's this, he's that. But they will have so much respect for that person. Because they just venting. Because they know that person has power. But let me tell you, they will be going and talking to you and venting to you. And then you thinking that you winning points, or you thinking that you're forming these relationships, and that's not so. They're then crapping on you like it's nothing. You see this happen in relationships time and time again. You will go after a man or a woman for years, for weeks, for months, for years, and you'll wait on them. You will do all that just to see them get with another person quick. And you ask yourself the question of, well, then why are they not getting with me? Like, why do they do that with me? Because you was too accessible. You did not know your worth. And you stayed somewhere too long. Going back to the girl that I said had a bad attitude and like her representation. Nah, she probably won't like me. No, she don't like me. She don't like the power that I have in a situation. You know, you see a fine thing like myself. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm older than her. Willing to bet, You see a fine specimen like myself, and I be looking good. I be looking good at work. Okay. Be having my lipstick on and everything. This is my after hours. Sitting up there, looking all good and having the position. Because the last thing we left off when we had a meeting was, hey, you talk to her, which is telling her to talk to me about organizing certain things and make sure she ain't talked to me since. She ain't said nothing to me since. Because she tried me. Because she thought. See what I'm saying? About how that image they try to give on us Geminis, what they try to put on you. And she thought she was going to try me. And what she did was she thought wrong. And now she can't even face me. But I see her resentment. And she's trying to be picky and trying to get me back. Okay? I see all up and through what she's trying to do. But it's like, no, you're not going to come and lie on me or thinking you're checking me and I'm not going to say nothing. Bitch. That's where I was with it. But I know how to let it go. Because I'm just like, but at the same time, you ain't going to jeopardize nothing that I have going on either. And see, this is what you're fighting against. I know I made this long, but it's real talk. Like, I'm really talking to you, Geminis, because I get what's going on and I'm one. This is what you have been dealing with, like, karmically. Just like these people set in these little places that you paying too much attention to when you supposed to be up there with the big dogs. It requires another level of operation. And the big dog, and I'm not even saying the big dogs is you. How you feeling? Your security. Because security is money. And if you don't feel like you supposed to be, you don't feel like you're supposed to be making more money or living a life that you want or having a family that you want and being treasured in that and having your feelings matter too. If you don't feel like that, you're not going to get it because you're not going to require it from other people. And you're going to sabotage it every single time because you're not going to see that the agenda of other people is to bring you down a few notches. That's what they have been trying to do. Oh, you gonna tell this that I need to talk to her? I bet you I won't. I bet you I'll still go over her head and talk to the next person. You see what I'm saying? That'll bring her down a few notches. But it don't matter how they're talking to you. You getting talked to anyways. It don't matter. The boss, the head person, the people in charge is coming to talk to you anyways. Whether they tell you, hey, this is the game plan moving forward. You still a motherfucking factor. And this is how you got to move forward. I'm sorry. That new moon that you get emotional about, this is love. This is money. This is about your love, your money, your security. That new moon that you get, where you start to say, nah, that's how they feel. I'm here. That's how they feel. I get to be here. I matter. Watch. You gonna be unstoppable. Uranus is in your sign. Pisces Saturn went retrograde in your career house, your 10th house, your public image house. It's on and popping. The only thing that's stopping you is because you keep having doubt. You keep seeing it. It's like, oh my God, like, look at all this. Like, but I don't know if I should step in this, when you should step all the way into it. No mercy. F how they feel. I'm about to, look, Gemini, I'm just telling you. I done went long enough. Subscribe to the video. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel because I will be back. Hello, Taurus. We're having a full moon in Virgo in your 5th house. Okay, so not a full moon. Venus is transiting Virgo in your 5th house. As a matter of fact, you have the sun there, and you're going to have a new moon, partial lunar eclipse that happens in your 4th house. Your 5th house as well. So this here is where whatever you have been working on, it could be a creative project. It could be something that is unique to you, unique self-expression, changing up your attitude. Like you got a different attitude about your approach to life and situations. And let me tell you something. Look, if people try to challenge you, you got it on lock. You got it on lock. Like, you and Geminis, y'all not playing. It's like y'all got a new attitude, and you have a new, and Sagittarius too. It's like you have, and possibly Capricorn. You are not doing things the same. No. You seen what you had to work on. You worked on it. You about to start to see the fruition of that. You about to start to see like something, maybe it's something you doing that you can make money off of, or you love, like you're proud of yourself. Other people are proud of you too. Like this is awesome. You're gonna be feeling good. But I get it. Maybe it didn't happen the way that you wanted. Maybe there was some disappointments that you faced. Like, you had to get past something that you wanted, like seeing it happen the way that you wanted, or maybe the way you thought that it was going to happen. Because if we go back into Saturn retrograding in your 11th house, you could have had your hopes or your desires set on something maybe you thought was going to work different. You thought that you were going to have more help, and you realized that no, this was going to be a self project. It was more about you. You had to bring yourself forward more than you thought, and you had to, take this on as your baby, as some of you guys had a baby, or whatever. And it was a process, but it's like you could see the vision. You could see some kind of way. You see what you want through the route that you had to take, even though it was more about you. It was more about what you had to decide you needed to do versus maybe others, maybe friends and people that you thought that you could depend on. It was like you turned yourself into a self project. And it's crazy because people coming back around, they can't understand like how you're still going to be able to be like choose to still put yourself first, and what you created, and what you've been working on, your new attitude, your new self. They don't understand it. They're like, how? I thought we were friends, Taurus. And some people, you simply outgrown. You're going to just see it. Something that you always wanted, you're just like, I don't know if I want this anymore. And you might be like, why did I want it? Why did I want this in the way that I did? Actually, it's really turning out better because you chose to be the leader. You might ask to be a leader in a certain situation because your attention to details, your ability to make things work. There's planning. Like if you're working on a project or like a skill, you need to develop some skill sets that you have to like develop and work on them. You know what I mean? Going into doing some sort of work that you're skilled at. You're going to be happy in that area, but it just so happened. And you are attracting, like you and your lover might start going on dates and stuff like that, or y'all need to schedule in date nights and time with each other. Or something that's come together for you and a lover or something of that nature. Y'all having fun together because it could be a heavy load. And this is what I want to say. The more you're going to be more attractive because this is your 5th house. When you are uniquely you and you express that in the way that you can, in the way that you want to. It doesn't mean that you're just out saying, oh yeah, this is me, I'm Taurus, I'm expressing myself. No, it could be a silent expression. It could be a confident expression. You working on yourself, you taking on these individualized projects and seeing that you can do anything and you can do this and you can pull it off. It builds your confidence. So your confidence could be very high right now, and you could be attracting people in because of it. Don't back down. This is not a stubborn thing. It's just because it's just you just really saying like, man, F it. Like, I know can't nobody challenge me right now on who I am. They may could challenge me on other stuff, but they can't challenge me on who I am. I know what that is. I know what that looks like. You going toe to toe. You going toe to toe with them, Taurus. And you don't even got to go toe to toe with them. They can't challenge you on your life and who you are and what you've done and why you did it. You followed your heart is what you did. Heart acts like the intuition. And it was a pain sometimes. it was a pain to let these people go, or to realize how they are, or to just give up on something you feel like you wanted so bad, because you see like you really didn't give up. It's going to come anyways. The more that you pour into you, the more that you build yourself, the more confident you are, the more that you're expressive, the more that you're able to set yourself free. Have fun with it. They can't get, oh, Gemini's off. I mean, Taurus is off over there having fun. What? Some of you guys, y'all might have to help your kids though. Focus on your kids too. Put together some sort of schedule for them to follow, or routine, because I don't know. Some of them, they need attention to details, and it could be, you could seem like you being stern. Make it fun for them. You know what I mean? Because that's coming up too. But what I am telling you is that something that you could have been working on, you're going to see you're going to see the blessing in it. You're going to see benefits from it. You can make money from it. Some of your kids may get a job, or get a raise at their job or something, or work on something that they've seen, and they're able to see themselves progress over time. And like in love as well, going on dates, having fun. But at the same time, it's going to have to be intentional dating, because I was working on something, I'm willing to have a little bit of fun, but I ain't wasting my time neither. All right. Thank you, Taurus. So this is, and listen, with this new moon that's happening in the sign of Virgo on the September the 21st, you have all the ammo you need to come back, to build yourself up, to walk in confidence, work on a hobby, work on a skill, and turn that thing into something lucrative. Okay? You hear me? That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. And because you know what, too, lucrative, that could mean like it's lucrative for you, because like, have you ever seen situations to where it, like, you doing things or being interested in it, things, it takes your mind off of hardship and stress in bad situations? You're looking good. You're looking good. See what I'm saying? You're looking good. You're looking good. Y'all been looking good all Virgo season. Okay, so thank you, Taurus, for joining me. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, because I'll be back. Peace. Hey, Aries. Aries, I'm back. You guys, I did you guys last today, and let me tell you, I had to put on some lip gloss, because my lips, after talking all that, my lips started looking dry. Okay, so where is this happening for you? Okay, so Aries, Venus is in your 6th house of work. 6th house of work. Okay, so people are loving you at work. I feel like you're very focused at work. You're all about your job. You all about making your money. Listen to me. It's like you're looking at things. Okay, so what's been working so far? If I need to make changes, fine. But if not, I'm focusing on what works. That's what I'm doing. I kind of feel like you're just like, if I'm off, I'm off. So more money. I don't know if some of you guys might pick up an extra job or work if you want to, that could bring you in extra money, or something that you're doing, working on your body, working on your time. Get reciprocity. If you can't get something out, you want equal partnerships and interactions from people. You don't want to be the one that's doing all the doing. You don't want to be the one that's giving all the giving. You don't want to be that. It's like you're doing what you need to do, and that's being seen, and that's making you lucrative. That's making you look like people want to use you for help and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's being noticed. And at the same time, you are just like, no, like if you got an appointment or you need to take some time off of work, you're going to do that. Maybe in the past, you were just like, okay, I'm just going to stay here and work. I'm going to volunteer myself. Now you're just like, nope. Things dealing with coworkers, involvements and interactions with coworkers, or like get-togethers, invites. That stuff could be, you could definitely be popular in that area. People want you to attend. People want you to come or whatever. So You know, you're very valuable at work. It's something that you're working on, or the job that you do, and you got to know that you're worth it, because Venus is here. So you might have a lover, or meet a lover, or have a love connection at work, on your job, or at work. You can meet somebody, or it's like you might end up going to their job where they work and meet somebody. But needless to say, your goal is to make more money. Your goal is to enjoy what you do. And you might see that things start to lighten up. And you know, you're having good relationships with coworkers, and that's good. Okay? Because, you know, I know a lot of you guys have had your own personal stuff that you have been going through. And this is the thing. If you if you're spent emotionally, and you have been going through a lot of emotional turmoil, and you're trying to disconnect from that stuff and let go of the past and let go of things that's outside of your control, practical stuff. Do things that you can actually work on. Do things dealing with your health. Do things like establish some sort of routine. See, you want to be able to see like your pain, you produce something out of that. Okay? So, you know, getting real practical. So you're doing that, you want to do that, you're trying to do that, but maybe what could be the issue is the fact that Saturn is retrograding back into your 12th house. Now, both parts is hard, you know, when it's transiting you, which is it is, but it retrograded back into Pisces in your 12th house, which is, it's bringing up a lot of that stuff that you really don't want to deal with and see and face. This could be some of you guys dealing with stuff. Hospital diagnosis. If it's not you, it's like maybe your mother or your father. And, you know, like going to go to a test or a lab or exam, and then just realizing like, oh, they're like, hey, you got to maintain your cholesterol or your blood pressure because you don't really want to be on medication and stuff like that. Something triggers you, maybe even seeing a counselor or a therapist to help you understand that there is some sort of emotional connection to different stuff, hair loss, weight gain, addictions. And you realizing this and you getting treated for it and getting treatment, this can help you. That is practical ways of handling things that maybe you had no answers to before. And when it's something that is out of your control, don't try to control it. You've done that before, and you don't like how you felt or you were being made to feel in the process. Do what works for you. Focus on that. Do your job, do your work, do what works for you. Focus on that. It helps. I'm telling you. There's a new moon that's going to happen because Venus is entering Virgo and transiting Virgo on the 16th. The new moon lunar eclipse in Virgo is happening on the 21st. So this is going to help you, you know, come back around and say, okay, you know what? I'm on a certain path. I wanted to make it real practical. I want to look at things how they really are and deal with things from there. In situations, I want to get a return on my investments. Okay? That means working with others too. So when you want to kind of take charge or do everything yourself and it's burning you out and it's making you tired, let other people know that you need help from them. Okay? But definitely more money coming up when you can get into your work. You can invest your time into that, and whatever it is that you have to do or develop, your skill or whatever, in order to get that extra money. That could look like anything. That could look like going back to school. That could look like getting another job. That could look like getting a raise. Bettering yourself and requiring, even out of your partners and relationships, like I said, reciprocity. It's a give and take. If it's not a give and take effort, don't F with it. All right, Aries. So thank you for watching. I will be back with the next transit that's coming up, Mars and Scorpio. I'm going to add the lunar eclipse videos at the end of this, so you can just go click on it and watch it, because I have included the new moon and Virgo energies for you, and it's talking about and elaborating more about how the eclipse plays out for you. I'm going to add it to the end of this video. Check it out. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, because I will be back. Peace.